All right, welcome everyone. We are back today with a very special guest. So I am Tara Doherty, PADS's communications manager, and I'm here with Ella, who is the founder of So Awesome Designs. So we're just going to give people a moment or two to log on and start watching before we kind of dive into our interview. But if you are joining us on Facebook Live and you have any questions for Ella or I, you can type them into the comment section and we will be answering them live. And if you are watching on Zoom, click the chat button right now and tell us where you're joining from. And if you have questions, you can click the Q&A button at the bottom of your screen or in the top right corner if you're on your mobile app. And I apologize, this is PADS. Sometimes we have dogs that bark in the background. So somebody just came to my door, but I don't, somebody else is dealing with that. So I apologize for the barking, but yeah, so if you click the Q&A box, you can type your questions into the box and we will try and answer them for you. So while we're waiting for people to get on, Ella, I'm going to start with the very first question that I always ask, which is how is it that you came to be part of this lovely PADS community and village? How did you find out about PADS?
Well, during COVID, my mom and I organized a sewing group around the North Shore. And so these were a bunch of women. I think we had 70 volunteers who would sew face masks and surgical caps and gowns for the Lion State Hospital and donate fabric. And one of these volunteers, her name was Kathy. She mentioned that she was a volunteer at PADS. And we just love this organization. I have a dog too named Penny, and it just felt like a great fit, and we want to support them.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, and we know Kathy well. Kathy Beaumont is one of our volunteers who also obviously loves to sew and has fundraised for PADS. She has a website called Bow Ties, and they're little dog bow ties that she makes that are beautiful that help raise funds for PADS. So what a great connection. And I love how our community often grows kind of through that word of mouth and relationships. So with that, tell me a little bit about So Awesome Designs. How did that idea come about? And you were very young when you founded this lovely organization. So tell us about it, when you started it, how old you were, why you started it. Tell us just a little bit more about So Awesome.
Well, I started So Awesome when I was 10 years old. I'm 16 now, so I've had it for a few years. Yeah. Around that time, I started sewing and I just had a love for it. And I also wanted to find ways to give back to my community too. And so with my business, I started to support a charity called Sewing Seeds. And they raise money and buy sewing equipment for women in developing countries and teach them how to sew so that they can have the opportunity to support their families. And a couple of years ago, I was able to go down to one of their sewing schools in Mexico, and I got to see all the work that they were doing. And I just love being a part of that and seeing how we've been able to help other people around us. And during COVID, we weren't able to work with them as much because we weren't able to travel, and they're based out of Calgary too. And so that's when we started the sewing group on North Vancouver. And that was a really great experience getting the opportunity to meet all these different women who also sew. And during that time, I sold mostly face masks. And I was able to raise enough money to buy 4 sergers through my sales. And those sergers went to different groups like the North Shore Hospice and a other charity called Atira, Women's Resource Society. And we donated the sergers to their sewing group called Atira.
And that's fabulous. So not only are you raising money by sewing, but then you're also empowering other people to sew as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's fantastic. So let's talk for a minute about how you're connected to PADS and the fundraiser that you currently have going on, which I'm very honored to be impacted by. So one of the things that you wanted to do was to kind of make a connection to our mission and our dogs. And so you named a bunch of dog bandanas after our service dogs. So the lovely Cadence, who is somewhere around here right now, has a bandana named after her. And those are available for sale on your website at So Awesome, So Awesome Designs. And so is SEW .com. And so if people order a bandana, what does that mean for PADS?
So right now I'm raising money to sponsor a new puppy in training. And so $10 for every bandana that I sell goes towards that. And yeah.
And so the fundraiser has been going on for a little while now. I know I've seen some of your bandanas out on our puppies in training, etc. Do you know how many bandanas you've sold so far through the fundraiser?
I can't remember right now. I've
Oh,
sold
okay.
a few though. Yeah.
Right. Well, that is fantastic. So for those of you that are just joining us, we're here with Ella from So Awesome Designs. Ella's 16 and runs her own company that was formed to give back to her community. So she sews a variety of things. She did face masks during the pandemic, and now she is sewing adorable dog bandanas. Do you want to show us some of the bandanas, Ella?
I have a couple here that my dog Penny wears.
Yeah.
I have a bunch of different like colors and patterns.
Oh, that's so pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And this one is our most popular one. SpongeBob.
Oh, I'm pretty sure I need to get one of those. That one is super cute. So we've got Nicole, who had a service dog Walker, and one of the bandanas is named for her. I think it was the flower one actually that you held up. And so she said that Walker loves her bandana. So for the folks that are watching, if you're watching on Facebook Live, if you have questions for Ella, feel free to post them in the comment section. If you're watching on Zoom, you can click the Q&A button to ask questions. Oh, Meredith says I'm wrong. The hearts are named Winnie. So, oh no, she's talking about the hearts, not the flowered ones. So, yeah, so if you go to the website, you will find a variety of different bandanas for dogs, and you can kind of check those out. Do you have any new projects in the works, Ella, or is this one taking all your time right now?
We're mainly focusing on this one. In a little bit, I'm wanting to expand my store to sell other products as well.
Yeah.
But for now, we're just focusing on bandanas.
Yeah. And how much time does it take you to make a bandana? Or
they're pretty quick, maybe half an hour for one of them.
Yeah. Well, that's fantastic. Well, thank you so much for all of the time and effort and energy that you put into this. And I think particularly it's just really exciting for me to see someone that, not only wants to do something really resourceful and creative, but also kind of use those efforts to help others in the community. So I'm very excited for your sponsored puppy and for you to be able to follow his or her progress through training. I've obviously been a recipient of a PAD service dog, so I know the impact that they have, and we're so grateful to folks that come into the organization and want to make a difference in kind of big and small ways. But what a tremendously big way to do that. And so Meredith has kindly shared your link in the comment section of the live stream if you're watching on Facebook Live. And then for folks that watch on Zoom, what we'll do next week is we'll include a link to Ella's store when we send out the notification for the next Tune In Tuesday, so that you can click on that link and order. So thank you so much for joining us, Ella. We really appreciate having you here and seeing some of your products, and thank you so much for the fundraiser and just everything that you kind of give back to your community, not just to PADS, but other organizations as well.
Well, it's my pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks so much for being here. Take care.
All right. Thank you.